Hello everyone. In this video I am going to show you the basics of Git and GitHub for complete beginners. This is meant for a more entry-level computer science student who may have heard these words before but are still confused on what they actually are doing. So by the end of this video you'll know what Git is, what GitHub is, how to create a repository, how to track changes to your files, how to commit those changes, and how to upload your project to GitHub. A lot of beginners mix up Git and GitHub, so I'll make that really clear first, and then I'll walk you through an actual example step by step. So, first off, talking about the difference between Git and GitHub, because they are not the same thing. So if we look up just Git, that is this software. It's a version control system. It basically helps you track changes in your code over time. You can see what changed and go back to other versions, and it just is an organization tool that way. And if we look up GitHub, so GitHub is a little bit different. So it allows you to create, store, manage, and share code to different people. It also is a great tool for projects between multiple people. So a real simple way to think about this is Git is the engine that tracks your project history, and GitHub is the place where you can back it up online and collaborate with other people. So this is important for computer science students because most programming classes, internships, jobs, they do expect at least basic familiarity with Git and GitHub. So what we're going to do now is before using Git, you should make sure it's installed on your computer. I am using Linux, and the distribution of Linux I'm using is Ubuntu. So in the terminal, you want to type in, so let's pull up the terminal. We're going to type in Git, then 2 dashes, and then version. So we got Git version 2.43.0. So if it doesn't show you a version number like that, you do not have it installed. And if you want to install it, you just do install git or sudo install git, and it'll pop it in that way. So now I'm going to move from that to creating a very simple project, and we're going to make the project folder for it and turn it into a Git repository. So a repository or a repo is just a project folder that Git is tracking. So this will make a new folder, and then we'll use Git, the command git init, which is like this. So first we'll make the folder, so make directory git demo, boom, and then we're going to go into that directory, so git demo cd into it, so we're in there now. We're going to do git init. Perfect. So it's an empty repository in our locally on our system. So now it's ready to start tracking changes. So if we do this, it'll show a couple things in there, and yeah, normally you don't edit the .git folder, but that's what makes this a real Git repo. So now we're going to create our first file. So we're going to create a Python file, and we'll track it with Git. So we'll open up, I'm using Visual Studio Code here, and then we're going to go File, we're going to go Open Folder, and we're going to go Downloads, and we're going to go into that Git demo, and we're going to open this. And then here we're going to select a new file, or right up here, new file, and then we're going to do hello.py, and we're going to put in this code, and we're just going to say hello GitHub. Okay, so obviously this is just a very tiny program here. Let's see, and then we'll install this Python extension to just so that it can run. That'll just take a minute here. Just a minute. And that will let us actually run this, but that doesn't matter too much right now. We're just showing how to do certain things. So if we open up a terminal, so go terminal, new terminal, and then we're going to do git status. So no branch master, no commits yet, and then it says that we haven't added in hello.py. So what you'll notice here is what we need to do is make it so it can track this file, so we need to add it in. So what we need to do is we'll put in back in the terminal, let's clear this out, we'll do git add and then hello.py, or you can do git add dot, but we'll just do like this. You can just do git add hello.py and then git status again to show you. Boom, so now it detects that file and it is ready to be committed. So what we'll do is we'll do git commit -m for message, and then we'll add first Python file. So it's saying it's ready, the changes are staged, it's wanting to commit it. And then so yeah, if it asks you for your username and email, you can do that, sign up with a GitHub account, and then you just continue with that step I just showed. And then if we show git status, so everything's clean, so that's working perfectly. So now we're going to make another change, so we'll go back into our file here, we're already there, and we're going to do print. We'll do this is the second change. Okay, and then once again down here, so git status, saying that it's been modified, and then we're gonna git add dot and then git status again. So now it's ready. Git add dot will just try to update everything, and then git commit -m, second change. Usually you want to be much more descriptive than that. So if you want to show your history of commits, you do that. So add the first file here, and then boom, this one, the second change. And then now what we want to do is we want to try uploading this to GitHub. So, oh sorry, I didn't mean to open that. So what we want to do is we're going to go into GitHub. So we've been using Git on here. We want to go into GitHub, create a new repository, and then we are going to add all this, these 2 lines of code into that repository. So open our Chrome browser here. I already clicked on new repo. You'll just see a green button that says new, and then you come into here. You choose a repo name, so git-demo, so that's available, and then description, showing how to use GitHub, and then we're gonna make ours public. You can make it private, so only you and the collaborators that you choose can view it. And then you can start with a template. You can add a README, which is just usually put info in there about setting up the project. You could add a git ignore, because sometimes you have a project stack where you're working with lots of different packages that have what are like I use a MERN stack, so it uses node modules is what they're called, and sometimes that can be thousands of files, so you just want to ignore that so you're not committing thousands of files into the project and taking up unnecessary space on people's machines. But then you would add what packages you use and what to install on the README so that people are able to use the project sustainably. And then this adding a license in here can be like a MIT license, or like how are people allowed to use this code, those type of things. So we're not going to mess with any of those, but we are going to add in a README, and we'll just hit create repository, and then it's going to take us here into the repository. It's got our README that has the name of the repo and then what our description was. And so right now all we have in here is this README file. So now we want to add what we've been saving locally on our machine and tracking our changes with Git. And now we want to put it on GitHub. So basically what we're going to do now is we are going to go here where it says code, hit the drop down, and then right here just copy this link. So you just hit here, copy to clipboard, and then we are going to go back into Visual Studio Code, and what we are going to do from here is do git remote add origin, and then usually in these terminals you want to do Control Shift, and then we'll do paste, which is Z. So hold down Control and Shift and then hit V. That'll paste it in nice and clean. And then right here we'll hit enter, and then we'll do git branch dash capital M main, and we'll do git push dash U origin main. So okay, some real life debugging here. Able to fix that. Slight mistake on my part adding in that README and then trying to push into that repo was causing a conflict. But if you did follow all those steps, just make sure that you didn't put in a README initially. You can always just make the blank project on GitHub first. I was just trying to show basically how you do it from just on your machine. Maybe you don't have Wi-Fi, you can do Git with no Wi-Fi, but then when you go to GitHub, you are just making the project. You don't want to add a README. You can add a README just in the folder before you put it on GitHub. So we still have that change. I'll just show you what that looks like on here. So it has the message to second change. You can look at the file on there, and let's see what else on here. Yeah, you basically just do that over and over. We'll make one more change and then commit it, and then I'll show you. So we'll go in here. I'll do print. This is the third change. I'll just run it for fun. There we go. It runs. Get status. So we modified it again. Let's say we added in another file. So we'll call it hello part2.py. And we made it say print hello world. And then we do get status again. It has both of them at a new file and then a modified file. And then what we want to do is git add dot, and then git commit dash m, making a third change and adding a file. Also, yeah, that's all I want to say. There we go. And git push. I'll push all those changes to that URL of your project repo. We go back on here, refresh. It added in that second file, and it updated this file. So the third change has this now. So yeah. Also, if someone were to make a change on here, so if someone, maybe someone on another development environment was making changes to here and committed it to main, and you went to go start working on yours. So let's say someone adds world.py and then adds in a print message like this, and then commits changes, creating world.py, and then put it directly on this branch. So now there's something that's on here that is not inside of our project over here. So what we want to do in that case is do git pull, and it'll pull that in, and now it is also in our repo. So if we do git status here, we are all up to date. So using these techniques, and in future videos I'll show you how to resolve merge conflicts and all those type of things, you will become a GitHub and Git professional.